with you in your car, truck, or tractor. Just another reason why WHOW is Central Illinois' news, agriculture, and talk station.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Netflix buffering, YouTube spinning, devices not connecting, Zoom calls dropping. It's frustrating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
From the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning, and thanks for being with us on this Wednesday. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, as well as Connexus, offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click their icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more. It is very apparent that people all over the country have been struggling with increased energy costs. Anita Russell with Community Action explains that they have been having many people reach out to them in pursuit of help with their energy bills, especially with the extreme heat we have been experiencing. She says that even if you are on the waiting list for the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHEAP, Ameren still has cost-saving opportunities for you.
So we've been getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of complaints. I do want to put this out there. First of all, people really need to read their energy bills, their Ameren bills and everything like that, because, Ameren is discussing those programs that they have. You can do Warm Neighbors, Cool Friends if you make over our income guidelines. Like I said, they've given us this $150, which does not seem like anything compared to what the bills are that we're getting, but it is a little bit of relief because a lot of people can get on that low income payment agreement until they can get in for LIHEAP. I've seen on a lot of customers that are calling in, the down payment that they want to get on this payment agreement is $145. Well, we're pledging $150. Now all you have to do is call Ameren to be able to, get on that payment agreement until you can come in for LIHEAP.
Russell says that it is their goal and Ameren's to keep you from being disconnected. She reminds that as you look at your energy bills, it is not Ameren that decides the cost of electricity.
A lot of people did not know that Ameren has a lot of great programs that they can tap into. And I know in our service areas, probably 90% of our customers that come in are Ameren. And like this past year, they had a supplemental arrearage reduction program where you would put your arrearage, if you owed like almost $1,500 to Ameren, they would put that on budget billing, start you out at zero, and just divide that arrearage over a certain amount of time and then add it to your current bill to get people, keep them from being disconnected.
Yeah.
Currently, my staff and I are doing the Ameren grant. It's an Ameren Energy Reduction Grant where Ameren customers that are income eligible can get $150 pledge put on their account. And I mean, they have to have an arrearage over $250 and an active electric account, but you call me or you call one of my staff and then they let me know. And then I just put the $150 grant on there. But Ameren's offering a lot of opportunities for people, and I kind of think that's a big thing is if you keep in contact with Ameren and just telling them what's going on and everything like that, they'll work with you because we want to keep you from being disconnected. I want people to know that they really need to read their Ameren bills. I see a lot of complaints about, to Ameren and how they are, jacking up the prices and, all this stuff with Ameren. Ameren is your provider of your electricity. They deliver it. They're not the ones that are providing it. So your secondary providers, I don't want to throw names out there, but I mean, I think Clinton used to use Homefield or something like that. It's your secondary provider that is, figuring out the prices of stuff. I had a call yesterday. I think that people are paying about 12 cents and this person, it was 32 cents.
To learn more about LIHEAP and other energy assistance programs through community action, visit capsule.info. Coming up shortly on this expanded newscast, Mount Pulaski to host homecoming soccer game. A local financial coach is sounding the alarm for those looking for love online or those looking to find a good deal online. A lonely heart may desperately try to find love in unconventional places, but Connie Miller from DeWitt Savings Bank indicates online romances just might be a scam.
Also, we still have all the fake boyfriend friend scams where they're trying to get people to give them money. So they will do things like tell you, a romance online or whatever, like through one of those websites, and then they're not legit. They'll do stuff like give you money, like say, oh, can I borrow $100, and they pay you back, and you think, oh, this person's really good at paying me back. I trust them, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and then they do the big one, and you don't get that money back. And that's very common. It's more common than you'd realize. It doesn't. That one, young people, yes, they fall for it, but we see a lot of elderly people fall for it as well.
According to Miller, Facebook can be a real trap in a lot of ways. She explains that people can be victims of crimes from scammers on Facebook Marketplace, or the item advertised isn't real and an electronic payment has already been made.
Now that you mentioned Facebook, we see a lot of Facebook Marketplace scams too. I have a stepson who is a police officer in the Peoria area, and he was telling us that they've had a rash of Facebook Marketplace scams where you think you're meeting someone to sell them something, and they rob you right there. They take the item and leave and don't pay you. Also, we hear people say, oh, well, I just left it on my porch and they're going to pay me later, that kind of thing. And it doesn't happen. They just take the item and don't pay you. If you're going to do some kind of marketplace transaction, make sure it's at a near police station or a common area, not your home, because they could be casing your home as well.
Retrieving money lost through a Facebook scam isn't always a guarantee. While sometimes that money can be recovered, Miller indicates there are some forms of electronic payment that they cannot recover. She encourages contacting your financial institution as soon as you think you may have been a victim of a scam. She also encourages verifying the item or items you want to purchase on a site like Facebook Marketplace is, in fact, real. When your school is a part of a football co-op, it can make your homecoming celebration a little different. On the WHOW Morning Show Tuesday, Mount Pulaski Schools Superintendent Jason Spang told regional radio that while their homecoming celebration does share similarities with other schools, their football co-op with Unity Christian means they don't get to host a game this Friday. He indicates that it will be replaced with a home soccer game this Thursday.
Just like other schools, we have different, dress-up days and theme days, throughout the week. I think our homecoming court's going to get announced towards the end of this week as well, and our students have been voting on those things. And so I know we have a home soccer game on Thursday. It's a little different for me because, attending Merle Forsyth, we always had our own football program. So typically, the football game on Friday night was the culmination of your homecoming week, and then obviously the dance on Saturday. Then you have volleyball games and other contests during the week. But for us here, since we call up Unity Christian, typically homecoming has been a collaboration and using volleyball, for example, or soccer, for example, on the big reveal night. And so that's been a little different, but our kids don't know any different here, and they love it all the same. And so we do have a soccer game this Thursday and volleyball later in the week as well. Overall, it's a very exciting time, through the culmination of homecoming week. I know we're excited to announce our officers and certainly excited for the dance on Saturday. But our kids and staff have done a tremendous job getting us ready for all these activities this week. We're sending out flyers, making sure everybody knows the dress up days. And, who knows, maybe, they might see their superintendent dress up this week too.
Spang mentions that homecoming is not just a celebration for high schoolers. Students in the entire district, as well as former Mount Pulaski Hilltoppers, are engaging with the schools and showing their pride.
Absolutely. I think we can all, reflect and think about what homecoming was like for us as adolescents. You look up at those high school students and they're your heroes. It's people you look up to academically, extracurricularly, all those things. And so, but in retrospect, those are the younger levels. Your older levels are even alumni, right? I can remember back when I was in college, I was so excited to go back for homecoming, and that goes fast. And so whether you have generational families in your community that always kind of live here and they're just excited to come, support their younger siblings or their cousins or neighbors across town who they know, or, whether we have students in college, we've got students that go to U of I, that go to Illinois State, that go to Southern, and they're always excited to come back as well, just to share. Life and education is about relationships. I learned that a long time ago. And certainly the relationships that molded our minds of our youth, whether they're still in our buildings and they're yet to graduate, or whether they've taken all that leadership that we've tried to bestow upon them.
The Hilltopper soccer team will take on the Blue Ridge Knights on Thursday evening at 4:30 p.m. to celebrate homecoming. Learn more about this week's celebrations in Mount Pulaski by finding Mount Pulaski Schools on Facebook or visiting mountpulaski.k12.il.us. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full-service dealer. See us at BaumChevyBuick.com right from the start.
News time is 21 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum is celebrating its 20th anniversary with a new book and exhibit that shine a fresh light on the nation's 16th president. The book, Lincoln, A Life and Legacy That Defined a Nation in 100 Objects, featured famous artifacts and little-known treasures that reveal Lincoln's family life, political rise, and the people whose lives were changed by the Civil War. It was written by Museum Executive Director Christina Schutt and Acquisitions Head Dr. Ian Hunt, and was published this week by Rizzoli, New York. A companion exhibit, Lincoln, A Life and Legacy That Defined a Nation, opened Friday and showcases about 50 artifacts from the book, including the desk where Lincoln drafted his first inaugural address, a leather portfolio he carried at the White House, and the last axe he ever used. New smart glass cases and animated historic photos help bring Lincoln's era to life. The exhibit runs through April 26, 2026, and admission is included with regular museum tickets. Proceeds from book sales benefit the ALPLM Public Trust. For more information, visit presidentlincoln.illinois.gov. Still waiting for fall-like temperatures. It won't happen this week in Illinois, as daytime highs will easily climb into the 80s. Kyle Dickens is a meteorologist with KWQC TV in the Quad Cities.
Biggest thing is that we got a big dip in the jet stream, and while that typically drives cooler air down from Canada, not the case with this, but what's also interesting is this time of year we do typically get into these dry stretches come September, October. It's been unusually dry, though, no doubt about that. But the tropics are really starting to heat up, and we've got a couple storms out there in the Atlantic. And, the atmosphere is a fluid. So I kind of like to show it's kind of like a sink drain. So you get these big storms in the Gulf and in the Atlantic. All that moisture is drawn into those storms. It becomes increasingly more dry, but also at times hotter when we get that type of pattern. But a lot to do with the jet stream. And again, that also is keeping the storms well to our south and keeping us and much of the Midwest locked into a pretty dry, hot pattern here over the next 7 days.
All right.
Above normal temperatures with dry conditions throughout August and September have led to abnormally dry, moderate drought, and severe drought status showing up in Illinois per the latest U.S. Drought Monitor. Collegiate Farm Bureau kicks off taking place throughout the state, including Kaskaskia College, where Rachel Donahoe is the Collegiate Farm Bureau president.
So with being in it already a year before, I've kind of already seen the benefits of being in Collegiate Farm Bureau. One of those benefits are just networking, honestly, just connecting with ag industry professionals, just for possibly like a future job or just an internship in the future. Just having those relationships, I think, is really important in college-age students. So that's really one of the bigger things I'm trying to kind of recruit our students here at KC, just kind of get them to understand how big Collegiate Farm Bureau is and Farm Bureau as a whole, and just all of the perks of it.
Donahoe is from Salem and is a sophomore at Kaskaskia College. Illinois Farm Bureau is mourning the loss of Director of National Legislation Ryan Whitehouse. He passed away last week following an accident while on vacation in Michigan. Whitehouse played a key role in organizing congressional farm visits like one last fall with U.S. Representative Mary Miller, a member of the Ag House Committee.
This is where grassroots matter, right? I think I counted, there's 28 people here today. She heard from, 25 of them, 26 of them, non-staff, about the issues that are important to them. And it's my job. I go out there and I talk to her staff and I talk to her routinely about kind of what I hear from our farmers. But it's important for them to just tell her constituents to reiterate, yeah, that's our concerns, right? We're concerned about a farm bill. We're worried about a trade policy. We're worried about tax reform and all that stuff. So this is really what Farm Bureau is all about, and where we get our power from is when the farmers come and take the opportunity away from their farms. We know it's harvest season, but take an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half to sit down and talk to a member of Congress and let her hear exactly what's on their minds.
Whitehouse was 43 years old. Prior to becoming the Director of National Legislation, he served on the local government side at Illinois Farm Bureau. What were some of the takeaways with USDA's September quarterly stocks report for both corn and soybeans? Now for your local obituaries. James F. Defabaugh, 83, of Clinton, passed away peacefully on September 28th, surrounded by his loved ones. A celebration of Jim's life will be held at the Clinton Church of Christ on October 25th at 11 a.m. In lieu of flowers, donations may be made to the Clinton Church of Christ. Peasley Funeral Home of Lincoln is assisting the family with arrangements. Kimberly D. Campbell, 71, of Clinton, Illinois, passed away at 1:43 p.m. September 22nd at the Loft of Normal, Illinois. No services are planned at this time. The family entrusted Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton with cremation rights. Online condolences may be made at calvertmemorial.com. Beverly Wick, 93, of Maroa, Illinois, passed away at 6:28 p.m. September 21st, 2025 at Vonderlith Living Center in Mount Pulaski, Illinois. Graveside services will be at a later date at Newton Falls Cemetery in Newton Falls, Ohio. The family has entrusted Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton with cremation rights. Memorials may be directed to the Alzheimer's Association. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWitt County's #1 source for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. It's all free all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hear Clinton Maroon live play-by-play this season on WHOW, the Big 1520 Daytime, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and 106.5 in Bloomington Normal all the time. Plus streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com, on the WHOW mobile app, and Amazon Alexa. Plus, hear a best of Clinton sports broadcast Saturday mornings at 10. All brought to you by Camille Tedrick of